welcome to my 2 cents, your TV and film review. I am your pastor, Steph.
Shantice.
And I'm Ainsley Harris, that Brooklyn guy. What up? What up?
All righty. Oh my goodness. Well, we can't go any further without shout out to the lady who keeps us coming. And that's our girl Anika. Hey.
Hey,
Yes,
Anika.
Nika, can't do it without you.
Yes. So we finished the series Power Book 2 goes. We are now finishing season 2 of Reasonable Doubt. All right, Ainsley. It's on you this go round to get the ball started.
Okay. Reasonable Doubt, season 2, the final episode, number 10. What can we say about this? Well, I gotta say it was a decent episode. However, I feel a little disappointed though with it though, because every episode ends with like a cliffhanger, and season 1 ended with like, oh, okay, now we know what's the storyline going to be for season 2. I was expecting the same thing here, and did not get it, so I am a little disappointed with that. It was the sorriest ending out of all the episodes to me, really. For real, it was. This shit really is. It had its moments, but I was expecting, I actually was expecting some crazy. I was expecting that the DA was going to kill her ex, and she goes back to Jax. That's going to be the storyline for season 3.
Okay. I didn't think
That's what I
about
was
that
looking
one.
for. I'm like, who going to die? Who going to get killed? And I'm like, oh, come on. That's the best y'all can really do. So I was a little disappointed with the writing on this episode. And also, when you're doing a courtroom, crime drama, there's a little analytical thinking that goes behind it. And so there's something that comes to mind is like, okay, nowadays everybody got cameras in their house, right? You're talking to people and they're supposed to have $1 million homes. There's no cameras. So which would refute nobody considered the daughter.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, everybody got cameras.
Okay.
I mean, come on now. I'm like, duh. That's one of the first things we do nowadays. Look at the cameras and whatnot. So I'm like, duh. Okay, so, but I think that was kind of forgetting in the writing. So I'm like, I kind of dropping off on this last episode.
Okay.
But the bright
so
side.
wait. Let's do this. Before we go any further, we got to give a shout out to our girl Ketty. Hey, Ketty.
Hey.
Hey there.
We got to give a shout out to Mama Harris. Hey.
Yeah, my mom is on here. Yeah, check out.
Hey.
Glad to have you with us. All right, so let's do it this way. Highlights.
My highlight. You saw my man Michael Ealy. I wasn't expecting to see him. I thought he was gone. My man was gone, but he's back here again. That was my highlight. See him, Michael Ealy.
Oh my goodness gracious!
He had a nice conversation role too. It wasn't no figment in imagination. It was like he had a little role. He had some minutes in there.
Okay,
So he was not done yet. That was my highlight. Let's see the expression on your face.
Oh my goodness gracious! What other highlight was there for you, that Brooklyn guy?
All right. First, knowing that it was really the daughter that killed the father. That that was almost kind of predictable at that point, but it was still a highlight. Lou's having a baby, and then the highlight to me is like the baby dies.
That's a highlight.
Because we talked about this before.
No, it's a highlight for him because he said that the last time we were on. He said, I have a feeling they're going to lose that baby.
Okay.
Yeah, see?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Touchdown.
Yeah. That's pretty much the highlights, you know. It was other good moments. I think it was a good moment. I like how Lewis, he's a good father. Like he totally, like, when the daughter is like kind of think so much attention is given to a brother, he addresses right on. She said, listen, I thought that's what you wanted. You know, you want to call me daddy no more. So I thought you wanted more your independence and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I like he's kind of right on it, you know, on father duty. You know, that was to me, it was a nice little touch and scene there.
Okay.
But Michael Ealy was my highlight, really, though. That was my highlights right there.
Oh my goodness gracious!
So he was gone.
Michael Ealy.
Yes, my man.
Yeah. All right, Shantice. Highlights of the season finale episode.
Well, I just want to start off by saying I was very, very upset to see the ghost of Michael Ealy. I wish that they would ban that.
Hello, I said highlights.
I'm just saying this is a highlight for me. Okay, to shut that Brooklyn guy down. I was upset. Well, it's like that needs to be put in a vote. Like, no one is allowed to write in someone who done died already. Like, that's it. No more. End of story. Highlight was Jax shutting that prosecutor down. Like, I know what's going on in your life.
Okay.
And how dare you be a hypocrite? Like, and I was so happy because I knew Jax was gonna dig into it when she witnessed the interaction between Elizabeth, when she witnessed the interaction between the prosecutor and her ex-husband in the parking lot. I was like, oh, Jax is on it. She's on it. And she's not going to say anything until it's time to say something. And when she walked up in that office and went in without really going off, I was like, yes, that's why you that. I was loving it because the whole time it was so disgusting because you could tell the prosecutor like was empathizing with Chanel, but because I have something to prove and because they're on my back about us winning this case, I have to act like I don't know nothing about this. Not only nothing about this as far as being a woman alone, but a woman who's not only gone through it, but is currently going through it. It's like, how could you sit there and just be so nasty like this? So that was like the top highlight for me. Another highlight, I don't know, I actually liked the episode. I was upset that it ended with Tony still, now we know she's gonna be in the next season, God spares. It's like, I thought, okay, the baby died. Why are we still gonna
highlights? Yo!
I'm sorry. That okay, we got two definitions of highlights. I'm sorry.
It ain't a highlight, it's a disappointing highlight.
Right,
that's
highlight. Okay, wait.
What's gonna happen when I say the other side? Y'all gonna have nothing because y'all gonna be and put everything in the highlight.
You know that God has us being multifaceted. Yeah. Yeah, but that was Casino. Oh, come on. That'd be highlights for me. Okay, anytime I get hype, whether it's a good hype or a bad hype.
I'm gonna have to find me two co-hosts.
Wait, hold up. You're not finna
pay attention to the room.
You're not finna find nobody else who's gonna come on here and bring the swag like we bring it. So go ahead and search. Yeah. Wait. Who you gonna get? Pastor KL who don't watch nothing? Who you getting? Who you getting? Okay. I mean, other than that's like as far as highlights according to Pastor Steph. That's like the only like real highlight for me. The episode overall, I really like the episode. I like the whole smoking situation between Jax and Spencer. I like that. It was just good overall. Overall, I really liked how when Lewis left the message and Jax heard that the baby passed, it was like a real like, oh my gosh, not like a phew, thank you Jesus, and even when he said, I'm really hurting, but then at the same time it's a relief, is that bad? And she was like, no, like I understand, like it is, a relief for everybody, even for Tony, like let's be real, it's a relief, because now you don't have, even though everyone seemed to have been willing to gel together, you still don't have that possible back and forth going on for the rest of everybody's life. But I really like that because it really showed that Jax was really willing to step up as a woman and a wife and really do support her husband the way she was supposed to. So then that's another highlight. When Jax showed up at the hospital, I like that. She showed up and it was just her and Tony. And I was still like, this is one of my she-rolls, because every chance I got out of it, punching her in the mouth. Like, I don't care nothing about you just dropping this baby. I don't care nothing about you carrying this baby. You deserve to get beat every time I see you. And the fact that she just held her composure every time she saw her was like, that's why you're the star of the show, girl. Yeah, so it was a good episode overall.
Highlights. I'm gonna play by the rules. Highlights before we start. Oh boy,
here you go.
Let's say,
play by the rules.
Hey Teresa, hey Viv, hey
y'all.
Thank you for stopping by. And Ketty says, yes, the prosecutor did humble herself after Jax checked her. Yes, she did. She actually did. Highlights. I actually did like the scene where he came home, he was crying, and they just remember now, I've always been talking about this friendship cohesiveness. Right. This is what's really held them together. The glue that's held them together this whole time is the friendship, because despite all that's been going on, they they've been holding it together, and it's all because of, as a friend, you don't see any difference. And that's one of the things I always preach about. I said, we as girlfriends, when you check her with her girlfriends, look at how they were. She was no different with Lewis. She was empathetic, she was understanding, and she was there. And we've really gotta get that together, in our relationships. And I think this is one of the really good times where we can settle on, this is how we're supposed to be acting. This is how we're supposed to be acting. All right. What other highlight was there? Highlight. My other highlight was, the mama. When the mama was at the house, Chanel's mother-in-law, and she gonna run up, hey Chanel, blah 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 blah.
We and family,
Chanel was
right?
Like, thank you so much for being there, but we not family. Get out of my house. That was a highlight for Stephanie, because I can't. That wench right there, she just a mess in her hat. I'm like, your son is wicked. And I understand that they really couldn't tell that the daughter killed the father. So therefore, you really couldn't get the mother-in-law. You know what I'm saying? To really tell her, she wasn't the one who did the killing. The mother's still thinking that she killed her and she got away with it. So I love the check-in of the mother-in-law. That was a highlight for me. Okay. Yeah. What else? I do like Shanti's mentioned. I did like the way Jax checked the prosecutor.
Yeah.
And I do like the fact, one of the highlights was the prosecutor actually did go to the judge and put in a good word for her. I actually, one of the other highlights was the fact that, what's his name? Corey is with the therapist. I actually like that. And now somebody got to clear something up for me.
Corey.
Okay. Okay, you got to clear something up for me. Remember when the cousin and her husband was at the therapist?
Right.
And he asked a question. The therapist asked a question.
Yeah.
Stop taking my highlight.
What did he say?
Uncoupled.
Yes. Yes. He said.
Yep.
So according to the answer, you could tell the therapist asked the same question he asked Jackson Lewis. He said, "Would you rather stay married, reconcile, or uncoupled?" Jackson Lewis both said reconcile. When they got to Sally and the husband, she said reconcile, but he said uncoupled.
I thought that's what he said.
That's what I said. That's my highlight, my other highlight.
I thought that's what he said, but I didn't know the question. I was like, what? And I played it back 3 times, and I just couldn't catch it. I didn't want to put on the closed caption.
As soon as I heard uncoupled, I knew what it was, man.
Right. Only if you remember that he asked Jackson Lewis the same thing. That's the only way you would remember what they were answering.
I didn't remember the question.
And then also too, he was already, pissed off at her, and then they had a conversation in the car, and she tells him that she knew that it was the daughter. And he's like, "You ain't tell me this either." And you just like adding gasoline to the fire.
Yes.
It's like, come on now. What,
Yes.
I don't know what this marriage thing is all about. Because it's like, I could see why both of them was mad. I ain't understand why he was big mad like that. Only way I could see him being big mad like that was like, listen, you put our house on the line, you better let me know everything. And like, if it was on that, then yes, but you would have to understand why she didn't tell you that her daughter is the one who actually killed the husband, and she's willing to go to jail for the daughter, but because she has just put you, your family, your livelihood, everything on the line, then yeah, you better let me know everything.
And that's why I think had this been
a
normal circumstance, and this was something that she kind of held close to the chest, that's one thing. But when she already blew it with the other issue, that he wants to know everything now. You better spill everything, because see, he doesn't want any indication that she's going to hold any secret. So even if she was holding that secret, once that other thing came out, it was like, all right, tell me everything now. Let me know. Let me be confident that you're going to put it all on the table. And unfortunately, by her holding even that to him, for him, that's like, okay, you're going to be keeping secrets. So uncoupled. And I was like, yo, did he really say uncouple?
Yo, I was like, that's going to be a good follow-up for season 3. I would love to see that process.
Right. I was like, you go ahead, dude. I understand.
All right, we got some comments. Hey, Serge, thanks for hanging out with us. Says yes, nice clear boundary with the mama. Yes. Ketty says yes, her mother-in-law got on my last nerve. Because his husband was so over her. She showed that her family was ahead of her household and no trust in him. Just uncoupled with no hesitation. Yes, he was. He fake had sex with her. Yeah.
I don't know. That wasn't no fake. That wasn't
sex
fake.
9.
Yeah.
Not sex 9. You hear me? Sex 9. Episode 9. No, he was in it.
Yeah, that wasn't fake.
Married.
Right.
They're married. Now, the makeup sex can be the makeup sex and all of that, but we going back.
Listen, once you release, it's just like getting drunk. It's just like getting drunk. Once you in that drunk phase, it's la-di-da land. As soon as you sober back up, you remember why I wasn't talking to you prior to getting drunk. That's exactly what happened in that scene. She got an opportunity to catch him slipping. She initiated, he took up on it because they hadn't been doing anything for a while. They haven't even been sleeping in the same bed. And then after the dude was done, it was like, oh yeah, catch you later. And that just got her more upset. Like,
okay. Hey, Bev. Glad to see you, girl.
hey.
Popping in on us. All right, Ainsley, we've been talking. So, did you come up with any other downside of the episode?
A downside. Yeah, that to me it's a sorry storyline. Tony's gonna sue because
what is that?
Because the baby, how you going? What they had to do with it? The baby's in the hospital, right? So how you suing them? What they got to do with it?
Oh,
that's why. That's where the biggest disappointment came, and I was like, "Oh my God, really?"
What is that?
That's the lead in for season 3. Oh, come on, yeah.
That's what I said. I thought we would have been done, baby dead. We don't have to see Tony. Why we gotta see her with this fake lawsuit?
I have to agree with y'all. I was so disappointed with that ending. And I'm like, well, first of all, how you cheat? You know you were cheating. You know you ain't had no business having this married man's baby. And then you gonna sue them? Was that is that the only storyline? Because I agree with you, Ainsley. When they dropped I killed, what's his name? Oh, and as season 1 ended,
JT,
yeah, that was like a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
y'all couldn't have come up with nothing else that really would have been intriguing. You came up with something earlier, Ainsley. That would have really been
the prosecutor.
Yeah, I thought it was a prosecutor.
Yeah. Right. That would have been a nice cliffhanger. What else would have been a nice cliffhanger? Come on, y'all give up. What in the chat room? That would have been a nice cliffhanger. Wait, hold on. Is Lewis still that ninja now that the baby is gone? Oh, not. Hey, Deacon Diallo. Thank you for joining us. Does she even have a case? Well, that's what I wanted to know, sir. I'm like, you had
Teresa.
With a married man. Yo, go sit down somewhere.
So does this mean? I'm sorry.
Huh?
No, I was backing up what you were saying. So does this mean now that Jax gets to beat her up on site anytime she sees her?
Yes.
Because I've held my composure. I wasn't the typical hood chick that you've given me a justifiable stance to be, because it doesn't matter whether you're in the Lord or not. Anyone would understand it being on site for you. Anybody will understand this. The fact that I held my composure and that I was willing to, because technically I wasn't just supporting my husband in this, I was also supporting you in this because you're the child's mother. I was willing to now mess up my kids' world by letting them know that there's a new addition to this family that wasn't produced between their parents. I was willing to turn my whole life upside down without it being on site. Now you got the nerve to serve me and I don't get to make it on site for you. No. So now I really hope this whole season, like how the last season of Power Book was everybody chasing each other, I really hope this season we get to see Jax try to chase her all the time, because as Teresa asked, what could you really say? Because couldn't Jax then counter sue and say that you've caused me so much distress and I wasn't able to work and function normally? Because either way, you would have been having a married man's child, whether it was JT's child or Lewis's child. Either way, this was the position you put you and your child in. She could countersue. If she has a case, then so does Jax. Jax has a case as well.
What? I couldn't believe it when she said are you Mr. Stewart or whatever? And he said, yeah. And I'm saying to myself, well, who's suing him? Because, of course, that's some paper being served.
Yeah, exactly.
I surely didn't believe that this was this chick, Tony. Because there's nothing for you to say at all. At all. But wait. Let's go. Wait. Okay, wait. They said she's gonna claim that she stressed her out during the pregnancy. The baby's mama being. Oh, okay. Wait, we can't talk about that yet. Okay. All right. So those are new things. Okay. So my thought was, all right. So you have this whole scenario with you sleeping with the husband, and I'm saying to myself, okay, so you are presenting what to an attorney, and this is the thing that I'm talking about with these attorneys. They just take anything.
Yes.
You ain't taking this case to court by yourself. You done took this to some attorney, and some attorney then hyped you up to get your money. And I'm
exactly.
like, yo, you just a dodo. Really? You just go to bed.
Yeah.
Go to bed. All right. So we're talking about what would have been a good cliffhanger, and we got the son accidentally killing someone after smoking. Now, but he wasn't smoking weed. He was only vaping.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make him smoke weed so he could be hallucinating and hit somebody. All right. Okay, but that would have been a good one if that was the weed thing. The baby's mama being murdered and the husband becoming a suspect. Okay. Another cliffhanger. The son gonna tweak from getting bad drugs. Okay, but he wasn't on drugs, y'all. Wasn't on drugs. He was just vaping. Jackson's mother finding the new boyfriend dead, and she's the lone suspect. Okay. That would have been an interesting one because we don't know nothing about what's his name, Kevin. We don't know anything about him.
Right.
So that would have been a good. Okay, so where do we go from here, Ainsley? You've heard these. You've got your own scenario with the better cliffhanger. You've heard all the suggestions. Where do you hope to go in season 3?
It got to go somewhere. It was so disappointing. It's only which way but up from here, because I don't see a season 3. It was like it was written like with no intention of having a season 3. You know, it's like they're gonna have to create a good storyline moving forward. Because this case from Tony, that's how long that gonna last? 10 minutes on screen? Case get thrown right out of court. You know, come on now. So
that's what I get though.
Yeah, I was like, because again, it was very disappointing. I hate to say it, I was waiting for somebody to get killed. I'm like, where? Come on, who gonna die? It's time running out. Who gonna die? And so I don't see where it's gonna go. Really, it's like they got to create something afresh if they come back, because it hasn't been renewed yet, from my understanding. Right.
Okay.
You gotta start fresh.
I think they're gonna get renewed. Shantice, where do you hope to go from here? What do you hope to see?
I want to see Tony get beat up. I'm so serious.
Right.
I'm so serious. You talking about a highlight for me. I want to see Tony get beat up. And I want it to be so spontaneous. Like, even though we would want it, we don't see it coming. And I want to see Jax be able to get away with it every time. I would like to see it go to where, all right, so season 2 was about one of her best friends in a murder trial. I would love to see something going on with, like, the kids. Not for it to move on to someone else in a murder, because we just got finished watching that in this season. So maybe something moving on with the kids, whether it's the girl gets so out of control and gets pregnant or something.
Oh, no.
Something. Listen, drama is what keeps us watching. Okay, so something something with them, because even though like another murder would be a good storyline, but we just watched that, so to kind of mix it up a little. Their kids are older now, and we already got a taste of, I love the brother and sister dynamic. I love the way they interact with each other. But something, with them, maybe even something with Spencer, he was approached by a music exec.
Yeah.
At the showcase. So maybe even something with that. Okay, now he gets his foot in the door in the music scene. Jax, she's not an entertainment attorney, but she knows law, and now maybe something where he gets all sucked up in that world or something, and now she has to jump in, and I think something like that would be dope. Something with the kids. I would like to see it go somewhere with that after Jax beats Tony up a few times.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's not a bad angle. I thought about you, Ainsley, when I thought about where do we go from here? And I thought about the fact that, okay, so you always said, in the first season, you were like, hey, I'm really trying to see what makes up this high-powered attorney. And we were like, yeah, she hasn't pulled the guns out yet. And, in this particular season, she stepped her game up. They did kind of highlight her.
A little bit.
Yeah, they did. Like, that's a highlight, because really the eye was on Corey, because he's supposed to be the big guns. But, where would I like to see them go from here? Well, remember, the whole premise is reasonable doubt. So you had the first season with murder. Did he really do it? The second season, murder. Did she really do it? So it kind of, if we're going in the flow of murders, I think Tony coming up dead would be the normal direction to go. And I would
have a murder.
Right. It would be a murder. But I mean, who's killing Tony now that JT is dead? Who cares about her? I would like to see the story with, what's that chick from Escape?
Oh, Candy. She played, what was her name in this? Ebony or something like that?
Yeah. I would like to see some storyline develop with her. Now, I know she came in on the premise of being abused by JT and so forth and so on, but I thought they were going to do a little bit more with that. I liked her in this particular season in this show. So I'd like to see something develop, something saucy, where
again, I just thought about that. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Maybe he kills the mother-in-law.
Oh, that would be crazy.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
I like that. Mother-in-law ends up dead. Was Chanel or was it Ebony? I like that. I like that. So that's what I'm saying. Something, bringing back Ebony, because she brought some intensity.
Yeah.
She's much different than when she was on The Shy. She brought some intensity to this particular character, and I really liked her. So I like that one. I like that. All right, season 2, kick it or click it, Ainsley.
Click it.
All right.
All right. Even though I'm disappointed with the last episode, click it.
Okay. Shanti, season 2, kick it or click it?
Click it.
All right. Let me read some of the comments before we get the final thing. It says, if season 2 ended the way it did, what would season 3 be like? Which is true what Ainsley was saying. Jax becoming like Olivia Pope for okay, for like the senator, serving as a public servant. Okay, all right. Me too. I hope Jax beats the lawsuit out of her. That would be nice. All right, come on, in the chat room. Season 2, kick it or click it. I say click. Although I too was disappointed with the ending episode. The season was on point. Episode 10 was season 2. Season 2 in and of itself was powerful. So kudos to the writers. We got a unanimous click it up. Anika says definitely click it.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, last time, okay, we got to click it definitely from Kenny. All right, thank you. All right, so last time we were like, okay, we finished Power. We're about to finish, what's his name? Reasonable Doubt. Where we going? Well, Ainsley, that Brooklyn guy, suggested what, Ains?
Fight Night.
All right. Fight Night, the $1 Million Heist. Now, that is a Peacock original, and we're going to read the synopsis. In a city bursting with fight night anticipation, streetwise hustler Gordon Chicken Man Williams plants himself at the center of the action. His big ambitions and even bigger talk put him on a collision course with ruthless criminals, each consumed by their own insatiable hunger for the spoils of the event. As dawn breaks on a city reeling from the heist, J.D. Hudson, a pioneering black detective, is thrust into a high-stakes game of cat and mouse. As the body count rises, with time running out, J.D. and Chicken Man race against the clock to clear Chicken's name and survive the dangerous forces closing in. Now, we've got some heavy hitters as cast members in this. We've got Kevin Hart, who's playing actually that Chicken Man. We've got Samuel Jackson playing Black Godfather. We've got Terrence Howard playing Cadillac Richie. We've got Taraji playing Vivian Thomas, and she's Chicken Man's side piece. And we've got Don Cheadle playing Detective J.D. All right, Ainsley, you have first dibs on this one. Shantice, highlights of episodes 1, 2, and 3.
I love all of these heavy hitters that are in there because they all have their own type of swag. Like, I don't care what kind of role you give each character, each actor and actress you just named, they seem to know how to bring their own to it. Where, like, when we think about, like how we said, we could think of how many actresses who could have played Monet in Power Book 2.
Right.
Looking at this, it's like, I don't necessarily know. Oh, we forgot about Clifton Powell, and he is like, he's
yes.
Yes. And even that, where he played, I forgot, but the Mumbler, but that wasn't his name, but his name, yes, Mushmouth. His name was Mushmouth in it, and he, everything he said was going on like this. I loved it. And anyone who's followed Clifton Powell, you know he can talk. Yeah. But he played that Mushmouth. So the highlights for me was, so like Taraji P. Henson, the highlight was when they made her dance like she was stripping. Loved that scene. Because you could tell how she was just like, okay, whatever I got to think of right now to just get through this. And even during the dance, she's kicking her shoes at the guy, throwing her clothes at him. And it's like, okay, I'm scared, but you about to know how I really feel. Samuel L. Jackson, he is just stupid. It's like, I cannot deal with him. He is just stupid. Terrence Howard, the arrogance within the character he was playing was it for me. If you look at him, when the camera wasn't on him, but he was still in the shot, like there were certain scenes, like they would be talking to Samuel L. Jackson and he would be standing like kind of behind him, but he had this laugh and a smirk that he was doing while they getting tied up. But it was a laugh like, y'all just don't know what y'all doing. Like, y'all have no idea. And when he finally asked, like, who's dumb enough to rob us? Like, who's stupid enough? It was just, each of them had their own kind of like, this is why you're you. This is why you got and get these roles. I'll just mention one more. Another one, well, yeah, I just said it. For me, Terrence Howard, when you pay attention to, and I think that's another thing that makes them dynamic actors and actresses. They don't have to be the center focus at that time.
Right.
Because I can't even tell you that I remember exactly what was going on in that scene. I think Samuel L. Jackson was the focus shot in that scene. But all I kept doing was staring at Terrence Howard. He was in the back just like, They just don't know. And it's like, that's what makes it for me. So those was just a couple of the highlights between those 3 episodes.
All righty.
Oh, wait. And I'm sorry, another highlight. I love how, I don't know his real name yet. The one who played Sean in Power, in the original Power. Kanan's son. Yes. How he was able to kind of switch up for this type of
Was
role.
that him?
Yes.
Guys?
Yes. He was the main one. Yes, he's the main one. He's the main one. Yeah, the way he was able to switch up his demeanor for this role, I really love that. And the bishop. There's always a bishop. Anytime you get a crew.
Oh,
anytime you get a crew. Yes, you always got a bishop. For those who don't know, I'm talking about Tupac's role, Bishop in Juice. There's always a bishop of the crew.
Yeah. Somebody out of control.
Yes, he really helped to set this whole thing, like, keep it spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Like his arrogance / stupidity is what got them fighting in the kitchen. Now we supposed to be here guarding the hostages and protecting the money and making sure that the what do you want to call them? The new jacks stay in place, but y'all in the kitchen fighting. Like what? It's like what are you doing? So I really like, and Chloe Bailey did a pretty good job.
Now who did she? Wait, did she play Lena?
That's Lena.
I thought so. Okay.
I have to give her credit. She did a pretty good job in that role. I had to make sure it was her because we're so used to seeing her with the twists and the locks. But I'm like, but that face, she has a very distinct face.
Right.
But I was like, let me just make sure it's her, and it was. But she really did her thing. Chloe Bailey.
The one who played Lena, the only female in the gang.
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. She really did a good job. Whoever trains her, whoever she's getting her acting skills from, they're doing it right. I don't know if she's going to Tasha Smith. I don't know. But she really did a good job in that. Yeah. So this might be like a kind of like a breakout role for her because she hasn't been acting too long. But yeah, that she really did it. She really held her own. And like you said, as the only female in the crew, especially, it was like, yeah, she did a good job.
Okay. Brother Ainsley, you brought Fight Night to the table. Highlights.
One thing I like about this is that I like movies and stories that's based on real life, true events. And this is one of them. And what caught my attention, I saw was an interview with Sam Jackson, and he was talking about like he was there in the area when a lot of stuff happened.
Wow.
So he brought his own personal experience to what was going on and stuff. Like he said, I was there. I know what was going on.
Wow.
And
okay.
So based on, a lot of stuff was maybe fictionalized and dramatized, but it is based, on reality. So, and what I like is you also have all of these heavy hitters, all of these leading people who could easily lead their own movie together as a team.
Right.
So you really can't say it's Sam Jackson's movie. You can't say it's Rise's movie, John Tito. It's really a team effort. And to me, it's like one of those movies that you have your heavy hitters, but yet then at the same time, you got the new breed coming up.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know that that Lori Harvey, she was in this. She played Lola Falana.
Oh, that was her?
That was her, yeah.
Oh,
so you got this young group of young actors, like the young guy who played Muhammad Ali. So we got these young bucks coming in,
right,
along with the season. And I think that the combination was really good. I like the cinematography. It really puts you right there in the 70s.
Yeah.
It makes you it puts you right there with the hair, the cars, how culture. It puts you right there. And so I really that caught my attention. And the cinematography was really good. One thing that brought me back, because I was too young back then to understand, because we know we like Muhammad Ali, but we didn't realize how much he was despised of back
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
Yeah, and we didn't really realize that, the draft dodger and stuff like that. And so it kind of brought more like of a history aspect to a real dynamic to it and stuff
Right.
like that. And I liked it because they was all highlights. I mean, who else? Who else was good? It was all the good moments, like when Don Cheadle, I think it was after the fight, and he was talking, and we got this racial divide, and he was talking about the story of his football team.
Yeah.
Really beating.
Yeah.
It makes you think how many stuff that really happened, that we really had to suppress our own happiness of, we doing something just to survive, so we won't, because that's because others won't like it and stuff like that. It was a lot of tidbits in there I really like overall. I really liked it.
Okay. Highlights. I'm in agreement with both of you. One of the highlights for me was, how many times have you seen heavy hitters come together and the script is so whack, they can't do anything with it. It seems like they're trying so hard to make something out of nothing. I can think of several. Kingdom Come was one. To me, Death at a Funeral was another.
You didn't like Death at a Funeral?
I just said I didn't like it. I don't think it was what it could have been based on who was in it. But I do like this. I think the casting was dynamic, whoever the casting director was, or the casting team, perfect. Everybody, as Shanti said, was perfectly cast. Like you said, they didn't steal the shine from one another. They knew, and that's real acting. You know how to blend in without. Everybody can be an Indian, and nobody has to be the chief. And if you are not the chief, you ain't twisted. Very, very good chemistry on set. You could see that nobody was stealing the shine. Not only that, I commend them for being the heavy hitters they are and not stealing the shine from the newbies.
Yes.
Were able to get their shine on, and you could really focus on who they were. So you talk about the bishop in the group, and you're looking at him like, where did you come from? Why would they pick you? Well, all the focus was on him. It wasn't like, okay, let's get to Sam. Let's get to Terrence. Let's get to Taraji. It was well cast. I'm like Ainsley. I like dated stories, period stories, especially if it's true. So I had no idea that it was a true story until, of course, when it first comes up and they give you the blurb in the beginning about how this is a true story. I have to honestly say, I would not have gone for this necessarily. I saw the preview, and because of who was in it, I was like, I gotta see it. But I wasn't rushing to see it.
Yeah, it was the same with me.
And it's gonna be another one of them where all these heavy hitters and the script ain't about nothing. But I have to honestly say, I absolutely loved it. The first time I fell asleep, and I was like, Lord, I hope this does not mean this is what it's gonna be like. But I have to say, I sat and I looked at it by myself, undivided attention between me and the screen. It was really good. One of the funny parts to me was first of all, they really had me do, because you would really think that Taraji and Chicken Man, Kevin Hart, were the couple.
Right.
Find out that he's married.
Yes.
Like, really?
Yes.
Tight as they are. He's got a wife on the side, and she's the side chick. Not only that, another highlight was she knew how to play her part, because remember when the whole setup was going on at the house and the chick walks up and they kiss and they greet one another and they're vibing, and she just sits, Taraji just stands there with her lip, twisted, not this I'm gonna pull your hair out, scratch your eyes
Right,
out
right.
mentality. It's like, listen, we got a goal here. We about to get the money, and you know what? I know who I am. I ain't worried about her.
Right.
The other highlight for me was the actual storyline. I thought with the headliners being who they were, I thought that it was going to be Samuel Jackson, Terrence Howard, that group who was going to commit the heist. I had no idea
Right.
they were going to be the ones who were going to be,
Okay.
held up. So I that was a highlight for me. It was completely different and separate from what I saw it was going to be. All right, downside. Shantice, what you got?
Downside, I don't know. I don't necessarily feel like it was a slow start, because that's one of the quickest ways to get me to say, all right, I'm not watching this. I don't know. I can't really think of like any downsides to this. Within the first 3 episodes, I think they did a really good job with giving you just enough to understand who each character was before stuff started popping off. So you weren't left like, wait, let me go back and remember, or they skipped some stuff. This is not making sense. I think they did a really good job with giving just enough and not dragging it out before, doing that. I would say the only downside would be the facts. Not anything with the acting or the cinematography or anything like that, but the fact that it's based on a true story. So like something like what Ainsley said, like I had no idea Muhammad Ali was that despised. Anytime we're watching, actual stories like this, and we see how people were treated and how a lot of times it's like, you don't justify hustling or anything, but like this is the only way they set us up in order to be able to make something of ourselves, because all the cards are stacked against us. So like how it gave us a quick backstory on Don Cheadle and Kevin Hart, and how it's like Don Cheadle just threw him under the bus unjustifiably. Like, I just lost 2 years out of my life and I got this on my record and I ain't really do nothing. Stuff like that. Right. It's like, so now it's like, as a man, I feel like the only way I'm gonna get by and support my family and my side piece is the hustle. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So I would say that would be the downside. But as far as the actual series and what it takes to put the series together, I don't have a downside to it. I think everything was done really well.
Okay. We got a comment from Teresa. Chloe has been acting. She was in the spinoff of Blackish, which is Grownish. So that goes along with what you were saying, Shantice, about Chloe Bailey and her acting chops. Ainsley, downside, any?
Okay, to me there's no downside except for one clear downside, one big downside to me that I did not have to see or care to see. There was that one particular scene where we get to see Kevin Hart's natural clear black behind in 4K.
I was gonna bring that up.
I'm sorry. I don't need to see another black man behind. I'm sorry. Why I want to see that? We could have did without that, man. I'm sorry. That's the only part that I think was in Will Packer. Nah, bro. That I ain't. Ugh. Nah. Other than that, though, there's no really downside to it, though. Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was gonna bring up the Kevin Hart thing when we watched it the first go round. I dozed off, and when I woke up, not too long after that, I was like, Kevin Hart, his body ain't that kind of body, that a woman would be clamoring for. So it was comical to me. It wasn't, as a man,
it was comical, but I didn't want to see it though. I could have did without that laugh,
I get it. But I was like, well, we didn't need to see that either. I didn't think we needed to see that either. And it just didn't even look like Kevin Hart's body. And so I think Anika was like, oh, well, they want to show how buff he is. Something to that effect. I was like,
AI or something, right? Okay.
Yeah. Like,
nah, he's one of those guys where he's short, but he
works out.
He has a little physique. Yeah, he has a little physique. You know, he can't be too buff because he's but so tall. So he will look real crazy where his arms looking as big where he couldn't turn to wipe.
I ain't see no parts of that.
No, right. But
I get you, but I didn't want to see none of that.
But I think he's been doing
profile, nothing. I don't want to see none of that.
I think he's been doing a really, really, really good job. But this comes with being a dramatic actor. We never saw his body before because he was just doing comedies. And those comedies didn't necessarily call for that type of shot. Now that he's a dramatic actor, which I feel like him being in True Story set him up now to be able to be cast in those type of series and movies. Yeah. He did his thing in that True Story series. So now these are the type of things that we ain't never seen Martin Lawrence naked, ain't never seen Eddie Murphy naked. Those are all comedic actors. It wasn't until much later that Eddie Murphy started really doing dramatic Dreamgirls, and I think it was another one. But aside from that, whether it was his movie or someone else's movie, he was always the comedian. So it's like, I don't have to be naked necessarily, unless it's something that would, he was trying to do like one of those white people movies where it's comedy, but everybody does a whole bunch of silly things. But I think that's why that ended up happening, because it's like, this is what happens in the dramas.
Yeah.
This is what's going on.
Yeah, I agree. I guess it never called for it. And right. I think the True Story set him up to be able to hang with this A-list of actors. I don't think it had been just this comedic Kevin Hart, he would have been able to hang with them. I don't think so. But because there was a shift in his role, now he can hang with the big boys. Downside, I can't really say. I love Don Cheadle. He's a favorite. He's like a chameleon. I've seen Don Cheadle in so many different roles, and for him to play this particular role for me, and he's got that little there's a mystery side for me with him. I like the role that he's playing. I like how he's holding up against his white counterparts, and how he's interacting, how the role is written. The one thing I have to say that I guess it's a downside for me, but that's in any movie where Muhammad Ali is
my gosh, the voice.
Not only the voice, but this rhyming thing, which he always did. They're not depicting him incorrectly. It's only so much I could personally take. The voice, he did a good job. Don't misunderstand.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't take too much of this Muhammad Ali character. But I do like the interaction between him and Don Cheadle. I like that. I like the development of their relationship.
Right.
But if I had a downside, it would be, please, is this whole, and see, it's kind of a rhetorical question, because the name of it is Fight Night. So Lord, I'm like, you're gonna be stuck.
Can we have it without the fighting?
With this Muhammad Ali, but I have to say, as a young actor, an early actor, he's doing a good job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Train him. So I don't have any real negatives about it. I am looking forward to actually seeing the rest. How many episodes, James?
I think it's 8 altogether.
8. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm actually looking forward to, let's do the next 3 together and then do the last 2 like we did with a couple of the other shows.
Right.
So,
you know what? One last thing. When the actor did Muhammad Ali, I saw an interview with Will Packett, And the question was, well, how come you didn't get like, say, a Will Smith to do play that part? Somebody, another heavy hitter and stuff like that. And what we made a good point was that, okay, we got these, you got Taraji, Sam,
Right.
on what they're playing parts people don't really know.
Mhm.
Everybody knows Ali.
Mhm.
So let's give it to somebody who people don't know to play the familiar part, to give it that more of a balance and whatnot.
Yes.
But even with that, it was strategic.
I like it.
Like that. And
I like the
I was
decision.
like, I see some thinking going on up in there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Ain't no
Yeah.
thinking. Ain't no thinking. Will Smith would have messed up that whole lineup. I'm sorry, in my opinion. I don't think he would have been a good fit with Terrence Howard, Samuel L. Jackson, Kevin Hart, Don Cheadle, Clifton Powell, Taraji P. Henson. No. I feel like that would have just been like, all right, what we doing?
Overkill. Overkill.
Yes. Once we would have saw Will Smith, then it would have been like, okay, hold up.
Too much.
What are we doing now? Yeah, and not even too much. I just don't feel like he would have been a good fit with that lineup. As good as an actor as he is, I don't see him being able to do something like that. Like how you're able to put all of them together. I think he would have been good had he been like one of two heavy hitters and everyone else would have been new actors, in my opinion. I don't think he's on the status of I can be thrown in with other
not a team player.
A-list actors. Yeah, just for me. And then I don't know why, but as soon as you said that, I'm like, then we would have had to deal with somebody crying and all. No.
What did you say? Somebody crying?
Somebody crying. He always crying in a drama. It's like, no, listen. He played Ali in the Ali movie. That's where it should end. It's not like how they had the guy who played Biggie in Notorious. When they did the Tupac movie, they had him play Biggie in the Tupac movie. He was able to do that. I don't see that with Will Smith. I don't see him being able to be like, oh, I'm A-list too. We don't get it. No, it stops with you and Martin Lawrence. That's in my opinion. In my opinion.
No, I actually agree. When Ainsley said that, the question came up is how come you didn't give this to a Will Smith? Well, they were probably going back to the fact that Will Smith played Ali in the movie Ali. Well, that's a whole different ball of wax. Again, I go back to what I said from the beginning. This casting team was on point. They knew who to cast as an A-list team. They knew who to cast as the B-list team, and the cohesiveness worked. Even the chick who kept answering the door.
Oh my goodness, she had me cracking up. She was trying her hardest not to say, "Get the hell out of here." She was trying her hardest. I love it.
She did a good job. It wasn't like, oh, I'm so sick of her. She, you could tell that I hate to have to come to the door and pretend like ain't nothing wrong. Like I'm not inviting y'all into something that's going to be, bad on the opposite side of this door.
You're right.
But the A list and the B list was perfect. I think to add a Will Smith into this a lineup would have been an overkill. It would have been too much. And I think that he did Ali when he was younger and leave him there. I think this guy is nailing the Ali character. Like I said, despite how I personally feel about the Ali character, I think this was perfect. And you have to know as a casting team where to put people and who to leave out. That's the magic of casting. Mm-hmm. So they did a wonderful job. And I'm glad they did not go for another named person at this point. And we don't know who they're about to introduce going forward. But the chemistry is perfect. Leave it there. I agree with you, Shantice. No, thank you, but no, thank you. All right, kick it or click it, Shantice.
Click it, because I'm ready to binge watch the last 5 episodes.
All right, Ainsley.
Click it. Click. Big time click.
All right, all right. In the chat room, what are we saying? Click it or kick it. I say click it, click it, click, click. I am like Shantice. I wanted to go into 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. But I had to hold back because I needed to focus. I can't eat up too much movie.
Oh, I say, and Pastor Steph, you're gonna have to end up rewatching it anyway. So just pace yourself.
I pace myself.
Pace yourself, right? Yeah.
Yes, and I can't wait to get to the next 3 episodes, which will be in 2 weeks. So let's plan on coming back, meeting at the table. Anika says yes, click it. We got another series now that we finished Reasonable Doubt. We have another series we're going to focus on, and that's Tyler Perry's Netflix Beauty in Black, which is a new series starting tonight, October 24th. I have not seen, I purposely, like I did with Fight Night, I don't want to see nothing. I just want to go into it so I can review it, view it, and review it. So,
what's the name of it? I'm sorry.
Beauty in Black.
Beauty in Black. Tyler
Perry on Netflix. Now, keep in mind, everybody, that we are going to have to jump on the bandwagon starting next month, and we're going to have to start looking at some movies because we are going to be facing the lineup for the award shows that's starting in January. And we've got to be able to, see whether they should have added these things, left them out. We got to check them out. So in 2 weeks, we'll have a list of all the stuff that we're going to be reviewing so we can check out the award shows and see if they are diversified enough. All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's been real. I am your girl, Pastor Steph.
Shantice.
That Brooklyn guy, Ainsley Harris.
All righty. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you click that subscribe button. You see those people that popped up on the screen? They were getting notifications that we were on. So even if they didn't know, they knew once we lit up the screen. So thanks to Anika who helps to hold it down. We've got a treat coming up for the morning segment of My 2 Cents. We'll give it to you as the time draws nearer. All right. So stay tuned. Love you much. Thanks. Bye.
Good night.